I don't think it needs to be said, but I'll say it anyways. Nikola Jokic is one of the most unique players I've ever seen. He isn't the big-time athlete, shot blocking center. In fact, outside of post-ups and rebounding, he really doesn't play like a center at all. He's extremely fun to watch him, one of the best players in the league. And to be quite honest with you, he's the easy MVP in my eyes. And what Nick Wright is saying is just downright foolish. And I want to talk about how Nick Wright and the media, because I think he does speak for a lot of the NBA media, and them disrespecting Nikola Jokic and his MVP campaign, because Nikola Jokic is doing some insane stuff this season and is well deserving of the MVP, and I just don't like the way the media is talking about him. But before we get into today's video, I've noticed that about 62% of you guys that watch my videos happen to not be subscribed. So you happen to fall into that 62%, or you just happen to be new and like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, hit notification bell, be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos that take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. I also make videos talking about the NBA draft and high school basketball as well. So if any of those things are of an interest to you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. I don't like saying it, but it is true that likes do go a long way and more people finding my videos, so leaving one would be much appreciated. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. So Nick Wright claims that Nikola Jokic would be the worst MVP of the last 35 years if he won it this season. Here's the problem with that. Nikola Jokic is on pace to become the first player in NBA history to average at least 26 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and 8 assists per game on a 60+ true shooting percentage. The first player in NBA history to do something like this. So really, if you're putting up historically great numbers to the point where you're the first to ever put up a stat line like this, the chances of you being a worst MVP in the last 35 years aren't that high, especially considering that it's not just about him putting up good base stats, it's also about how efficient he is as well. He's super efficient despite not just being a post scorer. He's also somebody that takes jump shots as well. So again, the idea of arguing that somebody that is likely to be the first player to put up a specific stat line in NBA history would be the worst MVP ever is really just stupid. But Nick Wright apparently has a counterclaim to statistics. And what is his counterclaim to a first time we've ever seen stat line that's all-time great regardless of how you twist it from Nikola Jokic? He says that the MVP is not a purely statistical award and that it's not just about algorithms and it's about voters and nuance and this and that, which is honestly hypocritical because he has been using statistics to claim that LeBron sort of won like the past 10 MVPs, which is honestly hilarious and goes to show his bias towards a certain player. It's just funny to me that he would use that kind of logic for one player but not for another. But besides the point, it's not just about him putting up this all-time great stat line when it comes to Nikola Jokic. It's also about his impact on the team. The Nuggets are currently the 4th seed with a chance to move up to the 3rd seed depending on what happens with the Clippers and the Nuggets as well over the final stretch of the season. Mind you, he hasn't had Jamal Murray for a while because of injuries and another injury that actually will keep him out for the rest of the season. The Nuggets have good players around him. MPJ looks like a great future scoring wing. Aaron Gordon is a great addition to the roster. But it's not like it's some super team around Jokic. And Jokic has shown that he has a massive part in the success of the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets had the best offensive rating in the league when Jokic was on the floor. They had a bottom 25 offensive rating when Jokic was off the floor. So it's not just about him putting up absurd statistics. It's also about him having a massive impact on the Denver Nuggets offense and their success as a whole. And the final thing that Nick Wright talks about that really bothered me was he brings up how he isn't hyping up Jokic for MVP because it's not exciting and he's not a cool player, I would say. That's the best way I could describe what he says. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm not going to give him any more exposure than I already am. but he basically just says that like Jokic doesn't pull in ratings. Here's the thing. Ratings really don't matter when it comes to the MVP, and there were a couple examples over the course of history that come to mind of small market players that won MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the back-to-back reigning MVP, is playing in Milwaukee and signed a mega extension with them. Kevin Garnett was almost a unanimous MVP in Minnesota. In fact, the two players that kept him from becoming the first unanimous MVP in NBA history played in Sacramento and Indiana. That guy in Utah also won 2 MVPs. So it goes to show you that you can be a small market player and win MVP. It doesn't matter because it isn't all about ratings. It's about playing the game of basketball. That's the best way you can say it. It's not about like how many views he gets, how many exciting plays does he have. It's about the stats, it's about the impact with advanced stats and from watching the tape and how much they win. It's not about like how many viewers they pull in. And I don't know among mainstream fans, but Nikola Jokic is a very exciting player to watch. You just don't find players like him at all. He's a one-of-one kind of player. A guy that has shown he can dominate the game as a passing playmaker and as a scorer at the center position. You know how rare it is to find a center that is better than a majority of the point guards at passing in the league? Like, that's just something you would never expect to even exist, yet here we are with Jokic. So let's look back at what Nick Wright has said. Nick Wright has claimed that Nikola Jokic would be the worst MVP of the last 35 years, despite putting up a stat line that no other player in NBA history has put up to this point as far as combination of box score numbers and efficiency numbers. He then claims that it's not all about stats and it's also about nuance and it's more than just looking at the box score, which goes against his whole argument for LeBron winning the last 10 MVPs and the formula that he used there. So that's pretty hypocritical, I would say. And then he claims that he just wouldn't promote Jokic as an MVP because he's not that interesting, he plays in a small market, and he wouldn't pull in ratings, even though there are many other examples of players in small markets that have had MVP success. So really, Nick Wright probably just doesn't like Nikola Jokic, or he just wants to be a contrarian. So I want anyone who wants to become a sports content creator, whether that be a journalist, a writer, which I guess go hand in hand, a podcaster, a YouTuber like myself, anything involving sports, don't do what these guys on TV do. There's a reason they're on TV and not everyone else is. Because if it was as easy as saying dumb things about sports, everyone would be popular. And they wouldn't be as prestigious as they are in the positions that they have. So do you and just enjoy it. Don't market yourself as a hater the way these guys do. There's a reason they do it, and it's not a reason that's guaranteed to happen for everyone. And for me, I think that the best thing I did was kind of stop hating when I started thinking about making YouTube. Like, once I got rid of that, I've enjoyed the game so much more. I've appreciated so much more about so many different players while also accepting their flaws. So that's my advice to you guys. Don't do what they do just because they become popular, because in the end you're just going to be miserable when you're not at their level, because there's a reason they're only doing it. Enjoy what you do. Don't do it for popularity and clicks and views. Make sure you're actually having fun doing it. And I've been able to meet so many people that are doing it because it's fun and they love basketball. And if you love basketball, that's all you need to get started. But that is the end of this video. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all of those things, be a big help to me. Again, I don't It's odd because it feels like I'm selling out, but likes do go a long way in more people finding my video. So if you leave one again, I would really appreciate that. Let me know what you think about Nikola Jokic in the comment section below. Like, how fun is he to watch? Do you think he's the MVP? If not, who else is? Because it's kind of hard to name anyone else that should win it. What are your thoughts on Nick Wright and the comments that he made? But anyway, you know, that's all I really gotta say. Again, if you have time, go watch another video. I have over 360 videos on my channel, so I bet you'll find something else that you like. So if you got time, go watch another video. But with that being said, have a nice day.